and blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Deep be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose.
Our Father who art in heaven, I love when you toss me blessings. You never throw interceptions, I catch them like O.D. Beckham. Hard to knock the devil when built like Tiana Teller. And balling at 27, I feel like Iman Shumpert. Know there's a disconnect when the sheep start to lead the shepherd. The weak start to be aggressive, the streets start to be the reverend. Bragging about first class, seated on 9/11. They spirits are not united, a legion, my soul forever. I murder my adolescence, assault with a friendly weapon. I verbally dissect them to help them get back together. Wanting the stranger things, I handle it like 11. My point is I guard the kids. I should play for the Celtics. Watch how I Euro step them and curry them like I'm Stephen. Whenever I'm in your town, the Warriors in your presence. I manifest my endeavors. I'm blessed and I'm getting better. I walk amongst living legends. Coach Contra will live forever. Oh. New goals, baby boo. Got my wrist in these grits, tryna whip something new. I am sick of this rampant. So are you. Hold on, switch. Mama, I'm gonna introduce my ego. Since the world full of villains, then let's introduce the heroes. We the good guys, no blood on our hands. It's Tito. Hey, finna, guaranteed. Move back. Type of view is that on the globe? It's a visionary peeking out the window of my soul. Might just fall back, lend a helping hand and play my role. You ain't all that in the mirror oversold. Call me Reason A, aka Malcolm XL. That's a big pun, bigger punishment. I give him hell, getting done. Keep it blunt enough, you can't. Cough drop, tell them hard for their hell.
Al final he encontrado el negrito con los colorados, el mejor desde Colombia a los estados. Para los que no piensan que yo soy mejor, tengo todo, tu rapero favorito paniqueado, ten cuidado.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. These two teams met in Nashville earlier in the year with the Titans coming away victorious. So a win here in Nashville would give them the season series. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd down, Ryan going for the deep ball. He's got him in, complete. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
On 3rd and goal, Ryan. Look at end zone, and he's got his man. It's Woods. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Tannehill. Yannick Ngakoue able to record hit. sack of the season. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's fourth. So the Titans are forced to punt as Brett Kern is on to do the honors. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. First and 10, Taylor now. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And his throw here's incomplete. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And, Charles, that's now 4 receptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? You get a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Willis. This will go to Henry out wide. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. The Titans had a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. They come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A handoff running left, Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Second down, here's Willis. And And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here's Willis, third and long.
Connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
The fourth down, Willis is off, and Randy Bullock is on now for the Titans field goal.
Bullock's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Second down, another run with Taylor. Pushes him over, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Titans are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
A throw out wide to Woods, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Willis out of the gun. And brought in downfield by Burks.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. On first down, Willis. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
They'll go option to the short side. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
65, trap 60, trap 60. Ready?
Now Willis on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
Bullock's kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right out of.
And yet again, Ryan is intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And the Titans are going to get the football back at their own 17. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit.
Interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
On second down, here's Henry. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards, makes it 3rd and 7 now.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On the jump.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
3rd down, it's Willis. And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Hines now on the return. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Monty Rice. And the Titans are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. To the air on 1st down, here's Willis. Then he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They're going for it with the option right. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Remember, that was fourth and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and fourth and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
He gets it to Burks again. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. To throw again on second down. Willis. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Malik Willis in the final seconds of the first half. And the Titans have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Willis will try and throw for this. Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Willis with another keeper. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Second down throw coming by Willis. On the move to his left. On the out route, he's got Burks. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up a third down.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 19. 21 yards there on third down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
A first down carry for Henry. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Only a yard on the pickup there, 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
19 strike, 19.
Now they'll look to Willis to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. Henry. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Bullock's kick is good, and that now makes this a 15-7 game. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Well, that sack backs Ryan and the Colts up a bit here, facing a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
After that play, I think we know one quarterback will be extremely happy if his defense can hold the opposing team to a field goal here.
Ready, break.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Henry. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Going on 4th down, here's Willis. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
2nd 10 coming up here in Nashville. 3rd quarter action. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Colts on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now Ryan.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
They'll run for it. It's Taylor.
And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Back to throw, Willis.
Throw left side complete. That's Henry. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Julian Blackmon.
And the Colts are right back in this football game. They're holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half. Those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 2nd and 2, Ryan. He's going to let this one go deep. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Amani Hooker. And the Titans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On third down, it's Willis. A check down here for Henry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A third down gain of 19.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Bullock's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing on second down, Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Ryan on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. Henry running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for Tennessee, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far.
And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington.
Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to raise the bar, how to go large, how to take it too far. Let me show you how to show up and show out and surf the crowd. Trust me, you ain't never seen nothing like this. You ain't never been to a show like this. I'ma give you something to remember forever. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the camp.
Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate. Food from all of the base. My ace boom goon, big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm Deion Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. They see the crib with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the legs living. I do it for the one that died or fed millions. With soul food flow that stock my bad kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move, they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The Alpha and Omega, promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the sci-fi mindset.